Greetings, ladies and melodies, and welcome to the latest narration of the web series Accidentally Adopted. If you're new to the series, there is a playlist listed down below in the description, and as always, I hope that you enjoy. Just a quick side note, I stream 6 days a week on the main channel. If you're interested in that sort of thing, it is at 9 a.m. GMT+1. I hope to see you there. Anyways, more importantly, the story. Part 5, Chapter 11, Whispers. Journal Entry 61, Date 1/11/2. Name, Greg George. Well, a potential customer is enough to send up a shuttle for one of the local surgeries. It doesn't hurt that I wanted the fanciest, most expensive one. What the hell else am I going to do with my pay? I don't actually want for much on board, and most of that can be dug out of storage. Understanding the other Xenos, though, that could come in useful. Besides, if our nanosurgeons can take one of our translators out, I don't think the Xeno versions will give them any trouble. However, used to dropping in low intel situations I am, I realized it would be a bad plan to go alone, so I asked Bob to put together an away team. And called up Pendrell, thanking me to write out a chart with everyone's names. Anyway, I needed Pendrell to watch my back, and wanted the away team to see if they could make some subtle inquiries in the scummy parts of town if they'd seen a particularly fecky googly-eyed feck being a general shitbag recently. Speaking of, Mob's name is something like, what the feck was it, George, man? That crap should be easy for me to remember, but once you give someone a nickname, guess what pops up first? Bob, not George, man. I'm starting to think that we owe General Chest an apology. We gave him conflicting duties and kind of forced his hand to deploy us before he was strictly allowed to. With my loyalty to the Navy, to my brothers, to the We Sing, each has a duty, and they don't exactly mesh. We didn't know what it was like, but now I do. That's a future problem. Today, me needed to go see a nanosurgeon who looked like an otter, on a planet full of adorable tiny otter people, a planet with normal gravity, which felt kinda nice to be in without my bones feeling weird from a grav bubble. I wanted to pet them so fecking bad. Well, to be fair, they're actually huge compared to otters, but tiny compared to me. Jesus. In the galley baking birthday pies, the water noodles are goddamn cute as hell. Friendly as feck, too. Nano Bro was chill as feck when I blurted out that he was cute when my translator came online. Well, I thought the retort about how I'm the cutest meme in about 10 years was a chill response. He showed me some memes made with the pictures from the Fancy Pants grandkids, and I have to admit that the ones I could read were pretty funny. A lot of them focused around putting a happy face on doing an unpleasant task, like being cute for the amusement of Grandma and Grandpa, who were the only ones in the picture with real smiles. Kinda wild that the net picked up on that from how little they're exposed to humans. But then again, the Bleavises are a lot like us in their face, so maybe they're just going off that. I slaved it to my compad so I could fiddle with the settings, and unfortunately, there's no way to change translating profanity to anything other than profanity, which fecking sucks, because how is anyone supposed to know how severe of a swear I'm using on them if it's just profanity? Fecking that fecking feckery. What you want is the system to find the closest analog that works in context and use that till the target knows just how rudely they're being cussed out. Fecking whatever. Anyways, I did have to turn off translating audio cues because my left ear was bombarded with cuteness exclamation over and over and fecking over fecking again. These otter people have no fecking room to fecking swoon over any fecking else being cute, for feck's sakes. I might miss out on learning some context, but crap was getting unbearable. It worked out, because without that drowning everything out, I gained the ability to eavesdrop. Hell yeah. Anyways, I didn't really get anything in regards to my GEF quarry, but I did learn that there is a pretty big movement of people forward. The rumor mill is buzzing about some super powerful empire invading from beyond the Great Gulf, or some other names for it I forgot. Apparently, one of the big powers in the region sent a fleet against them, and nobody's heard back from them. It's either that, or they're thinking about sending a fleet. Or maybe the Great Old Ones are real after all, and they're out eating planets. One guy swears that his sister's boyfriend's cousin's roommate's brother actually saw the quarantine planet completely destroyed, but nobody believed him. Okay, so I have my suspicions, but securing Sanctuary takes priority. Can't go herring off after rumors. Feck. Dear Diary, Greg went planetside on a shuttle early, which left us unsupervised. I wanted to go down in the shuttle with him, but Daddy said absolutely not, since the city is known to be less than safe than the station, and apparently all of the grown-ups are going armed to the match. Well, I hope the opponent parents understand it's about what happened last time, and not like judging them in particular, or whatever. So Yem decided that the thing to do was practice in the planet's gravity for a few hours. With grav belts, of course. It was, it was odd. You feel normalish, but if you pick something up that isn't completely inside your bubble, it's super heavy. And the darts have much shorter range. Well, we can compensate okay enough, but I'm not so confident about winning this time. What I am confident about is sales. There's just one little detail I need to run by Greg before we open up shop officially, and that's the packaging. I want to put a paragraph on the outside of the package, on the backside so it doesn't obscure the toy. Something like, "This is Sneaky. He's a quiet and stealthy little guy who's always on the lookout for you. From bad dreams to bad guys, he's always watching over you and on your side. He's durable in soft fabrics, and stuffing can stand up to even the most needed of your hugs and cuddles. And he'll always be happy to help, just like the real Sneaky. You'll also love to find a home to be loved and love in return." Something like that. Yeah. Log 6,001.2.09. Personal, Captain Yormdrill. Oh, it turns out that the little hull breach wasn't trying to wheedle a bribe out of me. She was just bad at her scorching job. Once I demanded to speak to a supervisor, we got our landing clearance and approach vector sorted out in short order. Literally just bad at her job and can't be fired because her aunt is the chief of landing control, or whatever they call it. Well, Gregory managed to get a shuttle up here since he wanted a translator implanted. Yeah, that's a big-ticket item, and I was surprised that he didn't try to get a similarly reliable model at a lower price, and instead opted for the absolute best option. It drained his funds almost completely. And the hotel room he'll be obliged to rent for the night will do for a good bit of the rest. I can see the appeal, though. Better to pay more up front to find out later that you need an upgrade. As for us, we're beginning our descent, and we'll be landing in the morning. We're luckily within range for the starport, and then again, it is a capital city for a young colony world without a space station. They have need for freighters landing regularly, which was part of the delay, but that would have only had us waiting an extra hour before we could begin our approach. Why do people tolerate this nonsense?
Dear Augury, tomorrow we war against planeteers. The planet has the wrong gravity. Yagi made us practice in the wrong gravity. It was super hard, but I think that we will win anyway. Sneaky believes in us.
End of chapter. I would just like to thank the T5 supporters: Bushmaster117, Casper Arnholtz, Dragzoon W.R.E, Elijah Silvercross, Gray, Jon Creighton, and Sevaren Serberous. Thank you very much.